The night was black as death when he headed out into it, cold enough to catch your breath and turn it solid from a fluid. There were 5 of them that left, and they said they knew what they were doing. They set off driving in the Benz, and you could see the trouble brewing. Because the day before, events had gone from happy how you doings to exactly what can happen when 2 actors bring their crews in. See, these actions bring reactions, interactions starting to, and then it happens. There's an accident. And everyone assumes it. It's a fact, it really happened. Billy stabbed him, is the truth, because Billy always fucking hated him. But now we got the proof. But the day before he stabbed him, they were beefing about some youth. This little junkie owed some money, and Billy wanted what was due. And little Tommy intervened, because the day before the junkie had intervened himself to save this lady in a pub. See, little Tommy watched it happen when the drunk bloke threw a punch. He was wrapped up by this junkie who removed him from the front. And the day before the junkie took the drunk bloke out of the pub. See, this drunk bloke wasn't drunk at all, but burying his mum. And it turns out that this young bird that this bloke was trying to punch was just a nasty bit of work. A proper evil little cunt. Because the day before his mum died, she was clucking for some drugs. She'd seen his mummy in the sunshine and tried to rob her of her funds. And as things were getting hectic, she went and pushed her on a bum, cracked her hip and broke her rib, which had punctured through her lung. Now, she never meant for this to happen. She's just desperate for them drugs, because the day before this happened, had a punter cause a fuss. He took everything she had, and then he kicked her in the guts, and there's no way that she can work tonight if her face all beaten up. And this punter who had jumped her was a copper with a grudge. The day before, he'd found his missus with her mouth around my nuts. And something tripped a little switch within my brain of mine. That's fucked. Because if I hadn't slipped his missus one, then none of this would come. See, if I hadn't slipped his missus one, no mouth around my nuts, there'd be no copper with a grudge and no wrong and beaten up. There'd be no woman getting pushed, there'd be no perforated lung, no more drunk men throwing punches, no more burying his mum. No junkies picking people up to put them out the front, no fronting for that junkie cunt who needs to pay him up. There's no stabbing and no accidents and no arguing the cut. No one jumping in that Benz tonight. And no one's getting fucked. Well, if no one's getting fucked tonight, then what about them drugs? What about that little junkie cunt who needs to pay him up? And if there's no beef with Billy and the woman in the pub, then there's no drunk bloke throwing punches because he's sitting with his mum. There's no couple with a grudge and there's no woman beaten up and there's no blowjob from the missus with her husband home for lunch. So I'm back at the beginning, watching Billy and his mug as they argue over money until Billy throws a punch. Then the knife gets introduced. He goes and stabs him in the gut. See, these actions bring reactions. Now everybody's going nuts. All these crews and different factions in a room without no love brings a series of infractions. And someone pulls a gun. And shots are fired. Someone's dying. Someone's screaming for their mum. Seems that Tommy caught a bullet as he turned away to run. But his bullet went straight through him, hitting Lucy in the lungs. And now another sleeping beauty was the next to bang the drum. But the next day was a drama when a father, overcome, chose to jump inside his car and drive it faster than you run. And it seems that Billy was the last to hear the screeching as he come, and this geezer is the reason that he sleeps forever young. The morning after, call it karma, from the carnage had begun. Someone recognised his partner when out shopping with her son. See, they waited by the barbers till they stepped into the sun, and then blinded them with acid, and they never see it come. And in the afternoon that day, the crew got in the Benz, because it seems that Tommy's left the room, consumed them with a tent. Now they're hell-bent full of vengeance when they enter in the ends and see Billy's crew gathered there. Let's have it, get revenge. Now Billy's crew is shooting back. There's 2 men already dead while I'm watching through the window. Shots are flying by my head. Now I lean a little further and I turn to see my death. And another senseless murder that fills me with regret. See, yesterday a better way would resonate my head. And yesterday my escapades were caught up with a sense. But yesterday just demonstrates the madness of excess. Because yesterday can escalate with yesterday's events.